rocking Caesars Superdome in downtown New Orleans.
Tonight we continue with Wild Card Weekend with what should be a great one between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New Orleans Saints. Win or go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game.
And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara.
And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances. And he picks up nice yardage on that one.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And with this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there, because in terms of yardage, he's a top 5 running back in the league. And in terms of impact on a game, not many better than him. And when they're flowing and he's carrying the ball consistently, they're tough to beat.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Winston to give. It's Kamara. We'll get this up to about the 44. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Jameis to throw it. Finding Taysom Hill complete. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Second down and 3.
Here's Kamara out of the pistol.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Throw left side, taken in by Hill.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Winston on 3rd and 2.
They'll get this out to Kamara. And he is going to have a Saints first down, and comfortably so as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Alvin Kamara,
28 yards.
And the Saints will strike first here, this wild card matchup.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Jamario Davis. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, certainly not how they envisioned the start to this when you give up the touchdown and they take a shot on the first play from scrimmage offensively, Charles, but it gets intercepted.
Yeah, instead of just trying to nibble and, work your way downfield, they tried to take a nice little chunk there. It didn't pay off for them. Now the defense runs on the field, having already given up a touchdown the first drive, hoping to get their legs under them and slow them down.
And all those mistakes, they just seem magnified here in the playoffs. A running room for Kamara on first down as he takes this forward. It's a gain of 7 there on first down. 2nd and 3 coming up.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Kamara up the middle. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
Off the play fake, Winston. And he's got the hook up to Landry.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
71 yards rushing for him in this first half, as he has certainly carried over his regular season success into the playoffs.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium, because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
When people talk about plays being blown up, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's Exhibit A for physical play.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Play fake, Winston. He'll buy some time right. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans.
8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Saints have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Lutz good on the extra point. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. Here's Hurts to throw. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. Hurts a handoff to Sanders.
And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory.
And a tackle there by C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
New Orleans adding some depth to the secondary. They've got 6 DBs out there now for third.
Hurts.
Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. Look at the big man rumble. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
I love plays like that. A defensive lineman holding the football. It's like a kid who stole a cookie from the cookie jar, and then he's just fleeing the scene of the crime.
And all he's doing in his mind, reliving his days when he was young, probably played fullback on his high school team, always wanted to be the tailback carrying the ball, trying his best to lug that bad boy the distance.
Pretty impressive pick there off the screen, and then a nice return.
You know, nowadays, they do more ball drills with the big guys than ever before because they want to take possessions away from the offense. Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Winston now. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's Winston. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. Throwing is Hurts.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
And this one is incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
And that will be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run.
Tackle there by big Jordan Davis.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. One of these 2 teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout.
And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And, Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest. But now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now? Because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give them a little jolt of confidence moving forward.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Back to throw.
And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game.
It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
Well, on 1st down, they run with Kamara. He'll take it forward for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 29, Winston escaping the pressure right. That one complete to Hill.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
3rd and short yardage. Winston. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack.
By that time, it looked like he essentially just ran right into the pass rush.
Yeah, partner, I'm not much of an outdoorsman, but the fish jumped right into the net, didn't he? Because you've got to make sure that you're deep enough that you can get around the defensive end, have an angle there. But he couldn't do it because he actually cut that one off. Really nice play coming off the edge.
On 2nd down, Ingram. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play, because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. Will Lutz now to try the New Orleans field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
But whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep.
And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
Throw left side complete. That's Watkins. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 43. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into the...
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked up by Pete Werner. And the Saints are going to take over here up near the 40. They're still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down. 1 quarter remains in this NFC Wild Card matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? The Saints 1st down there on a gain of 11.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Back to the ground. It's Kamara. And able to work his way down to the 16.
79 yards rushing for him now as he has been a central figure in trying to get his guys to the 2nd round.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time it's 3rd and 3. On the counter, here's Kamara. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot. Maybe. Call it 4th and inches. The Eagles going to take the 1st of their timeouts. It's just their 1st. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try.
From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. That's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
To throw on 2nd and 10.
Hurts. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
They'll set up a throw. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4.
Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
One man in the backfield, that's Ingram on second and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll look to run with Ingram. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
They come through with 3 after forcing the turnover. But CD, second half, you're starting inside the red zone. Obviously, they would have liked 6 out of that.
Absolutely, because that's all you're thinking is how do you get it into the end zone? You want the field goal to be the last resort. In this case, they gave it a great try, but did have to settle for 3.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us are.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby.
And the Saints are going to get it back here just past the 35.
How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate. I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration.